T-Man 978 Chill Review. Hello everyone, the Voltron line reviews continue with the red line and the green line, piloted by Keith, who is stored here, and his little speeder, which once again there is no detail on his head. It is unpainted. Let's pull him out for somebody complains. But his speeder looks different. All of their speeders have a different look. He has like some sharp tips right there. 2 dabs of blue right there on top of the red paint. But I wish some of that paint, maybe that dab right there should have went on him, but it didn't. And here's Pidge. Pidge's speeder looks like that. 2 dabs of blue on it, just like Keith, and you can't see Pidge, so there you go right that. I'll be honest, as nice as it is that they gave us pilots and speeders, I would have liked, and I can imagine if I was a kid, the kid in me would have liked actual humans that stand up, not people that are in speeders, because you can't do too much. They're already riding in the lions. So now to take them out and they're still riding in a speeder permanently with no option to take them out, that's a little bit boring, but what you gonna do? But it does give you a perspective of how big these lions are compared to like a regular human style vehicle. But here is the face of the red lion. Has a hole in the jaw, just like the original lions, to accommodate for holding weapons and whatnot. And as you can see, the molding is greatly different. Pidge's looks more like a fluffy cat. The head rotates. There's a trade-off with all these lions. Since the head rotates like that, so it can work like wrist rotation, it can't look down, and there's no reason why they didn't engineer that. But the rest of the articulation is pretty much just like the yellow and blue lines, where the arms can go up or legs can go up like that and back. Bend here and bend up and down there for claw slashing action and whatnot. The rear legs are just like the other lions. And you hear that nice hard ratchet. Bends up like this. So you can get a whole bunch of like cat-like poses, but since it doesn't bend out at the shoulders or the hips, you won't be able to get a ton of poses. Unlike the first 2 lions or the leg lions, they do have waist rotation right here because that is the elbow joint technically. And it does swivel around because that's like the bicep swivel. So you can get them into poses that the other lions can't get into, which is cool. I thought before I bought this thing that it had another joint up there and you would be able to rotate it like the original lions and it could kind of hunch the back, but it doesn't. The shield, it's put in the package like this, but you can take the shield off and have it as an optional accessory. But I think in the cartoon, the shield is just sitting there. But did I mention that the tail can spin and it's just made out of pliable material? Well, that can come off for a couple of reasons. Because when they form Voltron, the shield is up here and it can fit there. So let's let you see the line with the shield back there. But it comes off because the green lion has this blaster right here. That fits right here, fills out that gap. This cannon rotates, and it does fire. And it fires fairly nicely, which is cool. The red lion has this blaster. And it's cool that it has multiple shades and colors and whatnot. You can put that on, it can still swivel around. But unfortunately, it does not fire for me. I don't know if that is a running problem, but mine doesn't fire. I haven't looked at a ton of people's reviews because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. But unfortunately, there you go with that. Same articulation. Besides the heads being different, this part of the mold right there is different. And the rears are similar besides this pig right there. I thought the rear was different, but it's not really different. And the legs, so besides this part of the back and the head, just like the blue and yellow lion, everything else is the same. Transformation to arm mode is a little bit more involved than the first two lines that I reviewed, or the leg lines. Push the tail up into the rear till you get that peg point in there. Fold the legs up into there. Try to get the feet hidden up in there. Bring this down like that. You can take this shield off. Put that there. Lift up right here. Actually, you're going to have to take the shield off. Lift up right here. And yes, you can see Pidge in there a little bit. But basically, rotate the arms to this point. Slide them in. Rotate the arms to that point. Slide it in. And clearance is a bit of a problem. You have to rotate the foot down like this, and then keep your finger there so you can bend this the rest of the leg up like that. Same thing over here. Keep your finger right here, bend that down, rotate it in, and you should be good to go to close that. And if it's closed, you're good to go. Now you take this little connector port and pull it out, and you have an arm. Could put this shield back on. The red line transforms the exact same way, so I'm not going to go through with that. Before I forget to mention it, Pidge comes with this part of the sword that, Keith creates, and Keith comes with this part. Basically, there's a little tiny notch right there, and a little tiny notch right there. A hole there, and a hole here. Basically, you just slide this over the notch, top and bottom. Come on. Once you put it together, there's no real reason to take it apart. If it attaches to the lions in some type of way, I don't know. I mean, for play or value, you could have Keith's lion swinging it around while it's just in regular lion mode. And the paint is on mine's a little splotchy because it has that silver paint there. So it's almost perfect, but not. So yeah, I wish that they could look up and down. That would have been nice. I don't know why they didn't give it that. I still wish they had that outward motion right there. But for what they are, children's toys, and for their price point, and thank you Playmates for keeping them at a low price. I thought these things were going to be expensive when I heard them announce and heard how big they were going to be, but they are a good price. I'm not even going to complain about them. I'm satisfied with their price, to be honest. But there you go. They're cool. I recommend them for kids. I recommend them for you as lions. But let's see how I feel when they get into full-on Voltron mode, when I can explain how they function as limbs and how the blue and yellow ones function as limbs. But anyway, if this video helped you in any way, please don't leave without clicking the like button. Or if you just liked the video, don't leave without clicking the like button. Until next time, T-Man978, out of here.